Hey folks, another quick video from Daddy Rabbit. So, what I wanted to talk about was, and I could be wrong, I don't know. And so, if any of y'all know what I'm talking about when I get done, if I'm wrong, please inform me, because I'm just. Somebody mentioned to me today that supposedly we shot something in Lebanon, blew something up, and then said it looks like we're going to be in a world conflict, which will be a world war. I'm going to tell y'all something right now. If we get in a world war, and it won't happen immediately, but it'll be fairly quick. I'd say anybody 50 and under, male and female, your ass is getting drafted. You're going to get drafted. There's no way around it. Our military is not big enough to be in a world conflict. We just no. I mean, we got the technology, we got the bombs and the missiles and all that, but we don't have the manpower. They will have to activate the draft, and then we'll know where we all stand real quick. You know, I'm older than 50, so for them to get me, there'll be boots on the ground on the U.S. I mean, you know, I'd go. Well, maybe not. To me, this is not patriotic. We stuck our nose somewhere where it didn't belong again. And, you know, I'm not willing to give up my life for bullshit. And I'm not going to debate what the Bible says, because I hate to tell you, I'm anti-Israel. I don't. You know, we're supposed to take up for them and all that, but hell far, I think they broke every covenant they made with God, and we're still supposed to back them. I'm not giving my life for Israelis. It's not going to happen. But that being said, they've been wanting to crash the economy, crash the world economy. A world war will crash it. It will crash it right to the ground. So I'm just telling you, boys and girls, everybody keeps you to all the preppers. Well, I got this gun, I got this gun, I got X amount of rounds, blah, blah. You might actually have to use them. You might. The problem is, it would be hard for any nation to put it would be hard for them to put boots on the ground here. It would, you know, because once you put a ship or ships sailing our way, we would be sinking them like crazy. But then our administration would be dumb enough to send us around the world to fight one country, and as soon as that happens, somebody will show up here, and then more than likely will come through the southern border, and it would be on like Donkey Kong, providing. And I don't know how many liberal states are down there. I don't keep up with that stuff. I don't. I know how many guns are in my state. But hell, by the time they made it to Tennessee, that you know, hell, they'd have half the nation. But I'm just saying, they're going to keep sending us here and sending us there and blah, blah, blah. And there won't be nobody here to defend it. And I'm sorry for all the chest beaters out there. Well, by God, let them come. Well, by God, if they do, we're shit out of luck. I'm as patriotic as the next man. And tomorrow I'm having heart surgery. So, you know, what good am I? So, even if I had the 2 or 3 weeks recovery time, I don't know if I could actually go to battle. I don't think I'd be in that good a shape yet. Y'all better be thinking. Be calling your congressmen and your senators, raising hell. Tell them, you know, get out of Israel. I'm going to tell you something. I know somebody was hollering about jihad, holy war. I can tell you right now, I'm not a professor. I'm just an average guy. We get into a holy war with the Muslims. We're going to lose, and we're going to lose big. And there's more Muslims in this world than Christians. I hate to tell y'all that. There is a shitload of Muslims. And Google it. See how many there are. I know there's more Muslims than Christians. If we get into something like that, Everybody said, well, we'll nuke them. We can't go around nuking everybody. You just can't. You'll poison the planet. So that means we go man for man. We lose. We'll lose that battle. And then you got somebody Google how many Muslims live in the United States versus Christians. And everybody says, well, I'm a Christian. Well, you're about as, and not everybody, but there's a lot of them are, when they say I'm a Christian, they might as well say they're Martian. They don't know anything about church. It's just, it's what they put on their birth certificate. They're Christian. There's a lot of stuff going on, old Stinky Joe and Camel Toe there is going to get us into a world of shit that we can't get out of. Now, granted, I mean, we got the biggest stick and we got the best military and we got all that, but that only goes so far if you don't have the manpower. And if they draft, boys and girls will go this time. And you look around at all the little kids out here running around, they can't even decide what sex they want to be, and somebody gonna give them an M4. Oh Lord, have mercy! We're gonna lose, and we're gonna lose. Rome will fall. That's just my opinion. And I'd like to say, we'd kick ass and take names. 10 years ago, sure, we still had men in the military that you could count on. I don't even think we got a general right now you can count on. We're going to lose and lose big. So, boys and girls, if we're not careful, we'll have boots on the ground here. And then we'll know who's the preppers and who's not. Because you'll have to throw down. You'll have to give your life. You won't be able to stand out on your porch and talk shit. Well, by God, if you don't get off, because they'll kill you. Whoever comes here is coming to kill us. They're not here to change our minds. They're not here to better our lives. They're coming to kill us. You best be ready. I don't know how you get ready. Well, you go ahead and get ready with God. If you and God are square, then it don't matter if you die, because you're going to die. And I'm not big on doom and gloom. I'm really not. I don't do those videos, but I'm just telling you that this dumbass that we got in office. See, everybody says, oh, he's a dumbass. He is a dumbass. There's no doubt in my mind that man's got dementia. Ain't no doubt in my mind Hussein Obama's running our country, not old dumbass Joe. But I will tell you something. If our government was legit, like we think it is, Congress would have done impeached that fool and Harris, and they would have locked up Hillary and Pelosi. All those dirtbags would be in jail. They're not. They're all on the take. They're all of them. They all might not be making millions, but all of them. I'm sorry. The joke's always been, if you're a politician, you're a crook, you're a liar. Well, that's a fact. And we're all talking about the 2024 election. If you think for a second they're going to let our man back in, I got a bridge I'll sell you. Come 2024, if our country's still intact, it'll burn to the ground. If there's any men left. If there's any men left. So, they talk about us getting into a world conflict. That's a world war. That's nuclear at some point. And, for all y'all that live in the UK or whatever, ain't nobody, I can't, and this will sound so cocky and arrogant, and I apologize, but I'm being honest. Nobody's concerned about the UK. It's us, Russia, and China. That's the only real true superpowers on this planet. I mean, there's people that's got nuclear weapons. UK's got it. Israel's got it. But nobody's concerned. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if Russia and China gang up on us, we lose. If we go man for man with China, we lose. There's not a good scenario without somebody pushing a button somewhere. And if that happens, we all lose. So get ready to lose your sons and your daughters and your grandkids and your husband and your wife, because it'll take all of us if this dumbass keeps dicking around. Because nobody cares. They're stupid Joe's kid. Well, he's a crackhead. He ain't going nowhere. Hell, we can't even get him in prison, so you know he ain't going in the military. So everybody keeps talking about this or that, this or that. Well, I get it. We put the biggest carrier group we got over against Israel, basically daring somebody. Go ahead, do something. Because granted, we have enough firepower of our to end whomever, whatever. Then you shoot another country. And they might have been lobbing something in, I don't know. But we start dicking around with enough of them, well, they'll start. And then we'll have to send guys there and here and here. And our military is short now. Nobody's going in the military. Nobody wants to serve for that dumbass. Hell, they're screwing the vets now, you know. So everybody's, why do they want to go? Nobody wants to go. Nobody's patriotic enough to enlist. And it's hard to be patriotic when your president's a dumbass, a puppet. It's going to be a big shit sandwich, and we're all going to think about it. But I can't see the American public just saying, no, we ain't done that. Because, see, the problem is, even some of the smartest preppers I know, they still feed into all the propaganda. You know? And listen, there's no doubt in my mind, they're bombing the shit out of Palestine. And I said this the other night in a video. Even Hamas. Hamas wants to start a war. There's no doubt. I don't think they killed those kids. I don't think it was sanctioned. And I'll say this about that. If you're trying to start a war and you're trying to get people on your side, you don't knife a bunch of kids. I don't care what kind of barbarian you are. Because you know if you cut up a bunch of kids, the world is going to shit on you. There will be no place that they can go hide. Nobody. No place. So I can see one side doing it and blaming it on the other. Because you piss off enough people. That's just like, I can't think of the president's name, Lord have mercy, World War II. The president wanted to get into World War II, but he knew the American people wouldn't back him. So he let them bomb Pearl Harbor, pissed everybody off. They was ready to go to war. He got what he wanted. People say, oh, our government wouldn't do that. Are you a dumbass? Our government would screw us all in a heartbeat and not care. They will let whatever happen to piss off the American people. And once we're pissed, we'll do whatever. They'll lead us right down the road of stupidity. And the time we realize what they've done, well, we'll be asshole deep in death. So boys and girls, you best be paying attention. Quit watching all that propaganda, making yourself crazy. Now, I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. I might go in there and get me a handful of stents and I'll be okay. I have no idea. Might go in tomorrow and they say, hey, you don't need stents, you need medication. Great. Worst case scenario, I go in and they say, hey, you're going to have open heart. That would suck. But a lot of people in my family's had open heart, so I wouldn't. It's in the back of my mind. I don't want it. I'd be out of commission for a hot minute. And then when I got better, I just had to sit on the porch with the old folks, you know, with open heart. So while I'm doing my thing tomorrow, whatever that entails, you folks better be paying attention, really looking. Quit getting caught up in the hoopla. That's why I don't watch TV. That's one of the main reasons. I quit watching TV. I quit watching NBC, CBS. I sure don't watch the Communist News Network. And everybody says, well, Fox is pretty honest. If I'm not mistaken, one of the other news agencies own that. So they're playing Paul against Peter, or Peter against Paul. I can't believe it. We are just sheep. They tell us whatever, and we believe it. Like I say, I'm not saying Israel's not bombing the shit out of the Palestinian people. There's no doubt they are. Uh, and I don't care what their reasoning is. When uh, I don't think you could call Israel a superpower, maybe, but when one country has a military like they do, and they're bombing the shit out of civilians, everybody's like, "Well, what do you expect?" I expect them to do the same thing we do: go door to door. If you're shooting missiles and stuff, then you're killing indiscriminately. That's a war crime. If they want to get Hamas, they can go door to door just like we do. Like we went to Iraq and Afghanistan. We went door to door. How about reason? Oh yeah, ammo. Yeah, you get ready to. You poor bastards are getting ready to get hammered on 9mm. You better just go ahead and buy you 1,000 rounds and take the hit. I was at a gun store today here in town. I've talked about the guy, Brick. He owns a gun store, and his wife said, "Order 9mm and order it now, before we can't afford it." I mean, I still got, I don't know, 1,500 rounds stashed away. I got about 1,000 rounds of hollow point. But really and truthfully, everybody harps about, oh, this handgun, that handgun. Only thing a handgun is good for, really, is to get you to a long gun, to a rifle. If you throw them down. Anybody to stand and say, well, I'd fight with my pistol and your rifle. Well, you're gonna die, and I get another pistol. I know some guys can really shoot. I mean, some bad men, and they'll tell you, I'm not squaring off with a pistol and a man on a rifle. I'm gonna lose. You know, so I have yet to get me another handgun. I just keep putting it off, but I got a pew pew in the trunk I keep with me all the time. Everybody knows what that is. And about 200 rounds in the trunk. I've always got a firearm with me regardless. It's not a high dollar weapon, but it'll do what I need it to do. Keep body armor and in the trunk. I'd take go out and buy 500 or 1,000 rounds and put it away. But really and truthfully, and you do need a handgun. But if you still haven't gotten. No, I'm poor, dude. I'm taking donations. So if you want to donate, I have a PayPal, and I will be taking donations. I haven't been to work in 8 weeks, and they're not paying me. So that sucks. And in surgery tomorrow, I have to pay for out of my pocket. So they figuring it'll cost my end will be about 3 G's, which is great, but I don't have 3 G's. I'm gonna turn this off because I want to run my battery down. Let me see if I can get under the street light so you can see my sexiness. I'm not in my normal parking lot. Hold on, man. No, so I'm taking donations, or somebody wants to give me a cig, I'll take it. But I do have some Glock. I still got some Glock 19 mags that I would put somebody on if they wanted them. I think I've got 15 or 16 of them. And, can you see me now? No. What's that coming on? Oh, that's off my backup camera. See, I got 4. What I should do is just hold on to them, because if ammo prices go up, mags will too. And then I can, that'd be about $1,200 worth of mags. But no. And I hate it because I'm hardcore Glock. I am absolutely hardcore Glock. But I just can't manipulate the gun anymore. I cannot hit the target. And Brick was saying it's the angle of the grip usually that screws people up, and they're hardcore sig. Actually, I had Brick. I was looking at Brick's wife's sig today, and as soon as I put it in my hand, she said, "Oh Lord," she said, "you're going to have a heart attack." And I said, "Why?" She said, "That's a sig." I said, "I know what it is," but she's got a micro sig or something. I think it holds like 15 rounds. No, so yeah, you better 9 millimeter, and the most versatile gun I think anybody can own is a shotgun, a 12 gauge. And I only own, well, I own some game load, not enough. I only own three kinds of loads: birdshot, slug, and double aught. That's it. If I can't kill it with that, it don't die. And I own quite a bit of it. But boys and girls, you better do something. P360. I think that might be it. But Dylan, you're young and rich. You should just donate me a sig. Uh, since I'm got medical bills coming out of my a-hole. Um, yeah, I don't. I don't have an excuse outside the fact that uh, if I can get back, I about said where I worked, and they would shit can me in a heartbeat. We were told we do not talk about where we work on social media unless we plan on being fired. So I can't. I wish I could tell y'all, because I'd have some interesting stories, but I'm still in my probationary time, so I don't dare do anything halfway stupid. And it's a security risk thing, so yeah. Buy your ammo. You better buy it, and buy it in bulk. Everybody says, "Oh, I can't afford $500." Yeah, you say that now. Wait till it goes up to $50 a box. You'll see. And I've had I got AR mags for sale too. If anybody wants them, I probably should wait till they go up to $100 a piece. Hell, I'd have $7,000, I think. People say, good example. People want to buy AR mags, and they were like $20 a piece or whatever. Well, I'm not going to pay that. Then it went to $100 a piece. Hey, you still got those mags? Yeah, they're $100 a piece. Well, I'm your friend. No, you're a dumbass, because I begged and begged and begged, and you blew me off. You said you didn't need them. You weren't going to spend that money. Well, if you're dumb enough to do that, then you're dumb enough to pay me $100 a piece for them. And I'm not big into price gouging, but if you're dealing with ignorant people, then oh well. So yeah, I still got a bucket full of AR mags, and I've got, I think, 16 Glock mags, and some of them might be zombie mags. I can't remember. They're in a box. So yeah, I might do some trading with them. But yeah, man. But I did see something today or last night. I can't remember which. There's two companies. They're national. They're fishing companies, and the government says they got to have a guy on board. They have to pay him $700 a day, and he tells them as they fish if they're doing it right per the government. So they took it to the Supreme Court to say a government agency just can't pull shit out of their ass when they want to. And if that gets taken down, if the government's not allowed to do that anymore, that'll translate over to the gun community too. Yeah, bartering's good. And what they were saying is that, like the ATF just makes bullshit up as they go, and then expects us all to bow down to, well, if they do away with one, we can do away with the other. And they named off like 7 or 8 things the ATF's done that will go away: triggers and bump stocks and all this stuff, and which will be a good thing. I don't know, but all I'm trying to do is not die, to be honest. That's all I got on my mind. I'm averaging about 4 hours of sleep a night, and Get this bullshit handled tomorrow and go back to work. That's all I care about. And first thing I'll do, and it won't be by sick, first thing I'll do is I'll go out and buy a calf, put it in the freezer again. I'm pretty sure I can still eat red meat. Hopefully. Man, I got a headache. Part about it's my blood pressure. The backside of my head. And then gets in behind my eye. I'll be glad when they get this artery open back up. I've been praying for me too, and I appreciate that, Dylan. But like I said, if you really want to do me a solid, just send me a SIG. Because I know you're rich. Anybody named Dylan is always rich. I don't know why that is. All Dylans are rich. Oh, Lord. Shaved my head today, shaved my face. I thought, well, if I'm going to the doctor, I ought to at least look like something in case I croak. Because a buddy of mine is a barber, and he's cut my hair for years. And he said if I croaked, he'd cut my hair. Told him I'd just do it myself. That way he wouldn't cut me. Then I cut myself twice on top of the head tonight. I'm not dying. I'm too young to die. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I really don't. I've listened to people talk for years, and they're gonna prep, and they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do that, and they're gonna do bullshit. Then they go on vacation, or they buy a new car. You got kids going to college, and they put shit off. And the sad part is, when people start starving, that fancy vacation you took or whatever. Hey, what's up, Shimmer? Well, we were just discussing tomorrow is my heart surgery, so we'll see how it turns out. I've seen you post up a couple times, and I mean to come in there when you post up, but I just hadn't. Yeah, I either going to have stents or they're going to do medication, or worst case scenario, they crack me open. So I'm hoping for stents. And all I know is the Widowmaker is the one they know that's clogged. But they're checking the left side of my heart to see if something else is clogged. That's all I know. Going to Knoxville tomorrow, to Fort Sanders, in the morning. So we'll see. But I appreciate you coming in. I saw you posted up about EP. I see all your stuff. I just hadn't felt like really socializing. But really, I thought I should get on. Oh, well, I was in school for my state job and collapsed. And they thought at first I was having a heart attack. I did everything but have a heart attack. They said my face turned purple. Hey, Sydney. They said my face turned purple. Of course, I wouldn't know. And I got something on my glasses. It's horrendous. Face turned purple. Of course, my heart was beating so hard I could feel. I've never had this happen, but I could feel my heart beating out the back of my chest, not the front, just the back. Of course, my blood pressure keeps bottoming out, and then I get the nauseous feeling and real sick and dizzy. I don't get dizzy. My world does this. It's like standing on a piece of plywood in the ocean. It sucks, dude. And I'm about to get new lenses. I've got something on my glasses. It's horrible. What else? So they put me on blood pressure medicine. They put me on my blood pressure. I saw it. My blood pressure, if you take it, it's normal usually, but it bottoms out. cholesterol stuff, and then I've had, the thing where like you look at babies, they looked at my heart, and I was in Tullahoma, Tennessee at Vanderbilt Hospital, and they were doing all this stuff. That was about 2 months ago, and been waiting for them to do something, and somebody screwed up. My paperwork went to somebody, and okay, my paperwork went to somebody that sat on somebody's desk too long. We got to call around, and they realized they screwed up, and then they immediately said, "Okay, we got to get you in the hospital." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be nice." But so tomorrow's the big day, Buy ammo, buy lots of it, and quit sweating using your credit card. Oh my God, people are so crazy. People say, "Well, they'll know what I bought." Hey, tell you, the man knows you're out here on my channel right now. And if you think they don't know, then you're stupid. Like Daddy Rabbit and my real name, I don't put them together. There's nowhere where my name and Daddy Rabbit are together. I do try to keep them separate, two separate identities. But outside of that, but they know everything you do. If you got a smartphone, you're screwed. And we all have smartphones, all of us. It's rare you see somebody that's got a flip phone. I know a couple Mennonites that have flip phones, and it's so funny. I don't know how they still work, but they do. Single. Thought I would say at least. Hopefully I will. Sydney, what have you been up to, buddy? Single. Signal, your signal sucks, or being single sucks? Because I'm betting you're talking about your signal, not being single. Single. Oh, single don't suck. Oh, so well, single sucks when you're wanting to fornicate, but outside of that, when I first got single, I told everybody I hate my own company. I can't stand it. Now, it's not that I'm against a relationship. I enjoy my alone time. I just wish sometimes I had a warm body on a regular basis. But then you got to listen to the bullshit that goes with it. And I don't have it in me no more. I talked to my ex-wife last night or the night before. We probably talked 2 or 3 hours. Really good conversation. We giggled and had a good time, but I don't think I could do it again. I really don't. I don't have the patience for it. Now, I might get remarried if we could buy a duplex and she live on one side and I live on the other. I tried to get my wife to do that when we were married. I said, let's buy a duplex. You can get on your side and, we want to fool around or whatever. We can cohabitate and then go back to our side. She wouldn't do it. I thought, well, that's stupid. That made the best sense in the world to me. Oh, and I got congestive heart failure. And that's whooping my ass. Because they have yet to put me on a water pill. They keep saying my kidneys. And, when you got the type 2 diabetes, they tell you to drink a gallon of water a day. And I have damn near stopped drinking water altogether. Just so I can pee out the fluid, And then there'll be one day where I'll just get super thirsty where I haven't been drinking and I pound water, and then for the next 2 or 3 days, I feel like I'm drowning again. So they need to put me on a water pill. At least for a little while. So I get a lot of this off. I bet I got 30 pounds of fluid on me. Uh, so I'll be taking donations. I'll be an e-beggar. I swear to you. Uh, Watch your yeah, actually, yeah, and I'm supposed to be taking potassium, but I haven't been taking it. There's so much stuff now they're telling me to take, and I got to get with one doctor and get a list. Uh, I don't do good if this one tells me one thing. This I don't like the guy that's going with me tomorrow. Uh, well, it's okay as long as it's quick. So the guy I'm taking tomorrow with me, the same guy I took last week. I've known since I was 7, and he has been in the medical profession for 32 years. So, and he knows more. You could ask him more about my family, and he could tell you more about my family than I could. He actually remembers shit I don't ever remember. So, and I've got on a heart monitor. It looks like a little dog bone. It's stuck to my chest, and they give you a cell phone that goes with it that reads it. And I don't have it with me right now because literally, and when the little girl gave it to me, it's a Note 9. It's a Samsung Note 9. I said, that bullshit won't work at my house. And she said, do what? I said, it won't work at my house. She said, why not? I said, because it's rare. I mean, it's rare I can get a signal and use a phone or something, but it goes in and out. And so where I live right in between two towers. And, oh, yeah, your signal always sucks, Sydney. I know that. So there's like a quarter, a half mile wide by a mile long, and that's where I live in that, and the towers don't overlap. And I always said, well, it's like a butt crack. I live in the butt crack across, no signal, and so a lot of times you'll see us out walking around the yard holding up our arms like we got cricket phones, trying to catch a signal so we can use our telephone. My neighbor, the mayor, lives 150 feet from me, and I can dial his number days, and it won't go out. And I walk towards his house as it's dialing, and I've been on his porch and catch a signal. And then I just knock on the door. It sucks. It does. Um, but anyway, so this little phone, I have to take it into town or bring it to where I am here at this little church. And so this thing will download all the stuff to the phone. It's like 148 hours of shit that's supposed to be on there. And I've got it read 24 hours out of 148. And then this thing on my chest at a certain time reads it and says, okay, replace me. So then I have to pull this thing off. And the sticky that's holding this thing on is like super glue. God, it sucks. I pulled all the hair out of my chest. I damn near cried. Yeah. So I'll leave here tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning, 5 or 5:30. As soon as I hit the county line, I lose an hour. I'm back in Eastern time zone, so it'll be 6:30. And it takes me about an hour and a half to get where I need to be. So let's see, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. Yeah, I have to leave at 5 to be exact, to be there at 8 o'clock. So that's 3 hours. Not when I hit the county line, then it's just 2 hours. And the problem is, it's all interstate, which is a blessing. But if anybody wrecks or if there's a trooper out there, then everybody does speed limit. And then it gets really slow. Last time I went into Knoxville, I did it in an hour flat because everybody was running 90 and nobody wrecked. And we did 90 from here to middle of Knoxville at 90 miles an hour, which was wonderful for me. But unfortunately, it just doesn't happen that way enough. So, yeah, I got to turn that. Okay. That's the only drawback to where I live. And I'd like to move to Tullahoma, Tennessee if I could. That's another hour and a half away. So that's about 3 hours. But I like it. It's a really small town. If I can find me a job in Tullahoma, I'll go. Or Winchester, whatever. Everybody says, won't you move back to Knoxville? I'm like, why in God's name do I want to do that? Smith and Wesson opened a factory in Knoxville, and well, Maryville, which is Knoxville. Mm. So yeah. Uh, Shimmer, don't you live? Didn't Popcorn Sutton live up your way? Yes, he did. I didn't need to ask that. Popcorn Sutton, the guy that made the moonshine, the guy that you don't know who Popcorn Sutton is? What the hell, girl? I know exactly what county you live in. It's a dirty word. Cock-a-doodle doo. I know where you live. I don't remember why, but I do know. Probably because you told me. There is a spot on my telephone. Popcorn Sutton was an old man that made moonshine. He was quite famous in these parts. I don't know why they call him Popcorn, but they did. Googling, you'll know. Hey, Sydney, you gonna sell me some of that Luger ammo you got? You could donate me a few boxes. I'm taking donations. I'm poor. Oh. You don't have to come put a gate up or nothing. I just need some Luger ammo. Yep. And Dylan's rich. If he'll just donate me a cig, I'll be set. But like I say, if anybody knows anybody needs any Glock 19 or Glock 17 mags, let me know. I got, I could say 16 mags left. And I think I got some zombies. 31 rounders. 30, or 31, 33, whatever they are. I got some AR mags. Mm-hmm. Man, I got this headache. It just does not go away. Mm. Oh, and for y'all that know, Sydney will know. What was her name? Daddy's good girl, Flowers, Wildflowers. I talked to her, and I texted her this week briefly, and she's doing all right. I've been meaning to reach out to Bree and see how she's doing. I haven't heard from her in a while. I texted her last Thanksgiving. Mm. I think Bree comes in and goes. She just sits in the background and listens a lot of times. But she's shy. And Wildflower's just dating some guy now. Good for her, maybe. And I have yet to hear from, my goodness, Gonzalez. I can't think of Sydney. What was her name? Uh, the lady with the bone cancer. What was her name? I used to shoot all the videos at the pond for. And I know her real name, but I can't think of her screen name. Guns. But anyway, folks, that's really all that was going on with me. And tomorrow will either be a blessing or a nightmare. I'm hoping for a blessing. And depending on how drugged I am, I may or may not do a live feed. I don't know. I don't usually do good with those kinds of drugs. They usually just knock my socks off. When I get sedated, I'm sedated for a long time. So I know not to get on to do a live. I might tell something I'm not supposed to tell or something. But I'll have somebody with me, you know. If I croak, if I were to croak, he's got a list of people he's to call. Uh, Yard sale will be called. Yeah, but you told me you had thousands of our bullets put away. Ha ha. Uh, so if I was to croak, yard sale would know, and then he would call Terrence of Barson Comms Group, and then he'd make the announcement on his channel. But Parson Comms Group is going to be doing. Oh yeah, I am too. I love her to death. She's a mess. But I said to Terrence a while back, he does videos on comms, that he should start a podcast. I said if he did a podcast, I'd do his first one with him. Like he could interview me and ask me anything. He can ask me anything he wants, and I'll tell it, short of where I work. And so after my surgery, in about 2 weeks, we're going to do one. Denise. Yes, Denise. Denise she'll make a comment on my Instagram account, but I've called her, and apparently she don't have the same number anymore. But I don't know how bad sick she is either. And so I've commented to her a couple times, and I haven't got a response back. But she will make a comment occasionally. So I know she's alive. I just don't know how she's doing. It was Denise Gonzalez. Can't remember what. That you told me you had an ignorant amount of Lugers, and you wanted to know if they'd work in your pistol. And I said that was just what it was stamped. It's still 9mm. I remember. If you're listening, you can tell I'm starting to get short of breath. And then my head starts hurting. So, yeah. Oh, and I still have yet to hear from Carlos. I don't know if he's dead or alive, or maybe he's a liberal now. I don't know. I talked to Monte Cristo the other night. He seemed to be doing all right. Said he's been working a lot. Who else? I went down to yard sales. Yard sale makes the best spaghetti, and I went down to his house the day before yesterday and had spaghetti at his house. And with the diabetes, I'm not supposed to be eating it and all the other stuff. Well, don't start lying now. You told me point blank. You bought a bunch of Luger. I remember. You can't lie to me. Got me off topic. But anyway, I'm not supposed to eat pasta because of the diabetes, but I'm not supposed to eat a lot of stuff. But I guess I'm going to have to start grazing out in the yard like the deer, you know. But that's, I can't think of anything else really that's going on that I need to discuss. Really. Yeah. But I will be taking donations make large donations. I have PayPal. And so what I understand is if they put in stents tomorrow, in 2 weeks I can go back to work. If there's no complications, I can go back in 2 weeks. And I'm more than ready to go back. I want to go back to school and finish my training. I can't tell. Man, mine look rough, don't they? I feel rough. I feel rough. Like I say, you average 20 hours of sleep in 5 days. It's rough. But hey, there's people out there got it worse than me. So I'm as far as that goes, I'm taking it in stride. And some people are liberals. Holy shit. There's not any surgery for that. Has anybody heard? Are they still trying to prosecute the Donald, or are they giving up this time? See, I don't keep up all that shit. If it's not in my news feed on my phone, I don't read it. I don't listen. I don't none of that. Dylan, I think I ask you this about every time we get on, but what state are you in? Oh, so what you're saying is you got a sugar mama that pays your bills. You're a stud, aren't you? I'm still waiting on you to sell me a shotgun. KY. Man, y'all got some gold diggers that live up there? I'll tell you right now, if I could find me an OnlyFans girl, that's what I want. I want to date an OnlyFans girl. Holy shit. I'm not the jealous type, especially when the chick's knocking down that kind of coin. Lord have mercy. If I was pretty enough, I'd have an OnlyFans page, but I'm not pretty. If you notice a vehicle pulled in behind me over there, they don't have phone signal at their house either. Apparently, that's why everybody stops. These little churches, because it's the only place you can get a signal. Y'all got any questions or anything? Ask me now. I can't stay on here long. I did a shave my head tonight, and I missed a spot on my neck I got to get when I go home. I don't know how I did that. I'm trying to get me 4 or 5 hours of sleep before I leave in the morning. Oh, you're such a liar. So are you back with your wife now? Or are you still single? I have been listening to pastors, women preaching. Oh, who cares? I don't care who preaches. Well, I mean, I do, but women can preach if they want to. They bitch. Why can't they preach? You know. I don't think women should be barefoot and pregnant and all that. I don't believe that. I think men and women have a role to play in their lives or in a household, but you know, I like to think I'm part of the modern men. I was born in Pikeville. Hey man, that's where I'm not too far from Pikeville. BG, what the hell's that? Pikeville. I am not far from Pikeville, honey. I am about now. Tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't that where the prison is in Pikeville? I went down there once, and because I knew a guard there, and he took me, I guess, to what they call Taft, and that used to be the juvenile facility. And he showed me around down there, and I've seen the prison. But that's Pikeville, I think. East Kentucky. Yeah, but there's a Pikeville in East Kentucky. Well, there's a Pikeville here too. That's where the juvenile hall used to be. Everybody would talk about. If you were in Knoxville and you got sent to juvenile, they sent you down there to Pikeville, which was, I think they called it Taft. And so the story goes, a black boy was in juvenile hall. The warden was somewhere, and he broke into the warden's home, raped and killed his wife, and raped and killed 1 or 2 daughters. And when the warden came home and found them, of course, they know who did it. They saddled up the horses and ran that boy down and roped him and drug him back to the juvenile hall and strung him up in a tree till he was dead, and then buried him in a shallow grave out there. And I've seen the little graveyard. But what I wanted to do was go out there with a metal detector and go see what's on the property. I don't mean dig it up and make it look ugly, but go out there with a metal detector. And there's several ponds, and I thought, well, it'd be nice if they'd let you magnet fish them. I bet you could find all kinds of stuff. But the guard I knew, he took me to the one of the facilities. It's a building, a brick building that had probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 cells in it, and maybe more. And man, if you went to juvenile hall, that sucked, because I think their beds were like a concrete slab. And it wasn't. The cells were probably 6 foot by 8 or 10 foot long, but holy shit. Little bitty crappy windows they could look out of, and all you could see is the other side of the hall. But when I was in junior high, if you went there, you were going to get the shit beat out of you a bunch, and everybody knew they were getting raped a bunch. And that was always the story. And I went to school with two brothers. They loved to fight. Man, they'd fight each other. They just loved fighting. And Brian and Jimmy, and Brian was a little guy, and they split them up, put one on each end of the facility, and then they got gang raped when they split them up. And the boy Brian, he told me, I think we're in the 8th grade. He said, because 7th grade, that summer they locked him in Taft, and when they released him, he told me, he said, all the bad stuff you've ever heard is all true. And I think he killed himself. He committed suicide the next year, because apparently a lot of them used him. A lot. But he was probably 4 foot tall and 90 pounds. So, yeah, it wasn't like he was going to fight off many. But so they took me in, and there were like 30 cells in a hall, and then you walked into an oval room. There was a desk, and you tell us where the guards were, and then you go down this hall, and there's like 30 cells and 30 this way. And yeah, it was a very gloomy place. But I guess even then, you probably couldn't have anything nice with young boys. Hell, they'd probably tear up everything there was. But they'd scratched stuff on the walls and wrote stuff in the cells. And, I stood and read some of it. Some of it was good, and some of it was gibberish. And, But it's kind of a sad place. Right? It's a bunny. Yeah. So and then I was asking the guard about like prison versus juvenile hall. And what is it called? And I don't know what it stands for. PREA. Prison rape something. So now in prison, if they catch you fooling around or raping people or just touching yourself, you're in trouble. And then they write your parents or your wife or your whatever and tell them what you're doing. So all that pretty much stopped, because nobody wants their family to know they're a pervert. But yeah, that juvenile place was real, just dingy, dark. But like I said, there's a Pikeville near me, and I didn't know there's a Pikeville, Kentucky. But that prison down there is huge. It's ginormous. Everybody asked me, do I worry that I'm near a prison? No, because if they escape, they ain't stopping at my house. They gonna run just as hard as they can run. Because everybody around here, if you escaped and they put it on the radio or whatever, everybody up here's got guns. They'd be looking for you, you know. But they got big buses like Greyhounds. They're painted white and they're black. And when you see them, they're taking prisoners to factories to work. I'm sure they don't pay them nothing, but they get out of the prison for the day. So I'd say the factories up here use them, you know, all that free labor. But I've never seen them get off the bus. I mean, I see the buses go by. They get an armed escort everywhere they go. But anyway, so that's really all I got for you fine folks. And I'm sorry, I can't really hold train of thought. So yeah, tomorrow, let's see, 11:30 Eastern, they start my surgery supposedly. I don't know how long it takes. I have no idea. Yeah, if I'm coherent enough, like I say, every time I've ever had surgery, whatever drugs they give you, it screws me up bad. Like I'm hammered. So I don't dare do a live feed and be hammered. If I get stents, I won't be on probably till Saturday or Sunday. If they get in there and it's not that bad, then they'll put me on meds. If they get in there and they realize I'm all clogged up, they'll come right back out, and then I'll have to schedule open heart. So we're praying for not open heart. So anyway, kids, that's all I got. And like I said, pay attention to what, are we going to be in a world conflict? I'm sure they're trying to get us into one. If we get into a world conflict, y'all get your red dawn, and then we'll figure out which one of you's full of shit and who's for real, because it'll get shitty fairly quickly. And Shimmer, I hope you continue doing what you do. Folks, if you like music, go subscribe to her channel. Shimmer Soul, they get on there and they pick and they sing, and it's a real G-rated channel, and they have fun there. I'm not allowed to get on there because I'm not G-rated, so I get into trouble when I show up on her channel, so I just do it sporadically. But for a girl, she's okay. For a girl. You're welcome. Anything for you, dear. All right, folks, more videos coming soon. God willing, and the creek don't rise. That is my 2 cents. Please remember, your glass is always half full and never half empty. You keep praying for me, and I'll keep praying for you. Love y'all. Have a blessed night. Stay safe.